Well, what more can I say? Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as I'm hoping we can get this Panasonic NV-V8000 up and running and working as well as the first one that we did on the channel. You might remember that I had really bad nightmares as a result of doing that last one, and Joel, bless him, who sent this in to me to be repaired, the second one he has, was sort of almost a bit tentative about doing it because the last one was so traumatic. Actually, it wasn't that bad, but it did get a bit sort of crazy just because, well, there was so much wrong with it, and it needed so much done, and obviously I was struggling for spares as well. I mean, it was a bit of a kit of bits, that machine, as well. It's one thing when you have a machine that's sort of aged gracefully and been well used or used. That machine was just a kit of bits. This one isn't so much so. I think that's the way to put it. Now, we looked at this in the Quick Look Series 2, and we sort of know pretty much what's wrong with it, which is a great start. Should make the video a bit shorter maybe. And I broke myself for my usual habit of not making notes, and I made notes. So we've got the head drum motor to sort out. Now, I did put about I've got one from an old deck. So that was the deck that I actually took out of the machine that I repaired, and I changed it for the deck that I was gifted. So that was cool. But I had comments on the original video. I will acknowledge the name of the person that made it. So it's actually two people. One person said about, you can actually lubricate the top bearing. And it's something that apparently needs to be done as part of a service after so many thousand hours. I've not seen that anywhere, but yeah, that does make sense, because this one's got that issue, which potentially says that this is a high hours deck, but we'll see anyway. The head chips are incredibly tough on these, so that's not necessarily a deal breaker. But yeah, and then somebody very kindly actually gave me the instructions on how to do it, so we're going to give it a go and hope we don't smash any head chips. I'm sort of in last chance saloon in some ways with that, because I think the other head motor is actually bad. So I I think I'm going to have to try and resurrect it. And I have got some incredibly high quality oil as well. It's the correct oil, I believe, anyway, to actually do the job. So I've put Capstan as jammed. That might not be the case, but we'll have a look. We'll drop the bottom board and just have a look, see what's going on. And you can just about get to the flywheel from what I remember. Front loading system. Well, yes, what a surprise. E to E issue, I'm suspecting caps, and yeah, probably going to be in that can again. And then the first intermediate loading arm is seizing, so I need to clean that up and basically remove it, grease it, put it back in, he says. So let's start with getting the top off. My thinking is, because I need to look at this front loading system as well, that I do actually take this out, it would just give me, I don't know, do I need to? I'd forgotten about that. Car Video Quip Limited. Interesting. So, do I take the fun? I'm actually tempted, because I'd like to try it. I'd like to try this after I've lubricated the top bearings, or the bearings. Let's get this off. Let's actually get the right screwdriver. Always fun to do these things one-handed. I mean, part of me was actually tempted to remove the heads. But the one suggestion, I mean, do I do that? It's not that difficult to remove the heads at the end of the day. Remove the heads, and then I'm not worrying so much about, because this is going to drop when I take this off. Apparently, when I take this off, this is the whole assembly is going to drop slightly, and there's a risk of damaging the heads. But I could actually take the heads off, and then maybe that would be a good idea. Yeah, it's usual Panasonic sort of thing with having the white, and you match it up to the white underneath, so you get it the right way round. Yeah, let's take the heads off. Executive decision. Let's crack on. So that's off. Had to give it a bit of a tap just to get it free, which is very common with these sort of head discs. And the white actually corresponds to the printed sort of printed mark. So that's worth noting. You can't actually see any PCB or anything underneath here, so that's how they've done it. So, I suppose we ought to loosen off these, yeah, I don't know quite what's going on there. I wonder if somebody's already been in here, you know, which is a bit worrying. Because I'm sure all of these should be the same, and that one looks decidedly rounded off, or is it... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, so not the best shot, but it's the best I can do. Everything's balancing. So let's try and get these off. They're actually quite loose. And they are Torx. I don't know why I feel so nervous about doing it. I mean, I've never done anything like this before. Well, let's say anything like that I have. But not when you've had to take a cap off. And, you know, it's sort of... I always have this thing that being told is one thing, but actually doing it yourself... Can I lift that without removing the screw completely? I'm worried about what I might do if I don't remove the screw. It sort of suggests I probably could. Okay. So interesting swirl effect inside there. I'm guessing that's greased. Yes, it is. Yeah, and that is now completely dropped. So that will allow me. Yeah, so I see why. I was told about. I mean, does, because there's a plastic collar there. So if you take that off, would the whole thing lift? Well, no, it wouldn't, would it? Because it's got the motor on the bottom. Interesting. That I'm quite fascinated by that. That's quite cool. So I'll put some a little bit of light oil. Let's do that now, actually, because I've got it handy. So I'm using actually Super Lube, synthetic oil, and it's PTFE. It's food grade, so we'll be able to eat off it. Yeah, so this will shake well. And I will say I've used it a couple of times. I've actually used this for a couple of Capstan motors, actually, and I found it incredibly good. Just where the Capstan motor on beaters, where the Capstan motor comes through the shaft, or the shaft comes through the deck rather. It's been, oh gosh, that was a great start, wasn't it? It's probably way too much. And I'm just going to carefully remove that excess. I mean, it shouldn't matter too much, just I'm just going to turn that, just lifting it as I turn it, just to get a coating through. And then I do need to find some grease just to put. I mean, I'm actually tempted to use a spot of red grease. So I've cleaned that up, and you can sort of see it's got a swirl on it to help with, I guess, with grease distribution. But I think probably the red grease might be the way to go. Oh, there, that's more for rubber. Maybe if we use the graphite grease. Is graphite grease a good idea where that is? Because graphite and bearings don't necessarily, I mean they do, but in this case might not be such a good idea. Oh, I'm going to see the comments light up when, when you get to this bit. I'm going to go for the graphite. I'm only going to put a tiny bit on there. It's just enough just to... It's a difficult one, isn't it? Just enough just to get the job done. So just a smear of grease, because that's pretty much all there was on it. There was very little there. Could be why it was running dry. I don't know. But yeah, I totally see why putting the paper in is the way to do this. So basically putting bits of paper in between the lower drum and the heads, obviously keeping away from the heads, so the drum is actually lifted up, so the heads don't risk, or the whole thing doesn't risk sort of dragging along. I can't see there's any problem with me doing it this way, but I'm slightly worried now that maybe I should have not let this drop. But I can't see any problem with letting it drop if the heads are off. This is actually a bit fiddly. Right, very fiddly. Oh, to be fair, it does drop down a little bit. Once you get it, it's tight. I mean, the tolerances are tight. It's not tight, the tolerances are. So it does actually drop in a little bit. I'll do these, I'm not tightening all of them up, or each individual one up. I'm going to get them sort of down close and then gradually torque them up, I think. I don't know, I don't think I necessarily need to do that, but it just feels right. Ooh. Phone just fell over with a crash. I don't think they need to be terribly tight. In fact, I've purposely not done it very tight, like over tight. I mean, is that enough? Is that going to do it? It's a good opportunity to give this a good clean, because the lower drum is really very contaminated. And you could argue I'm adding to it, but Silvo is actually pretty good for this sort of thing. I'm just trying to get off. It's like something's been sprayed over it or in it at some point, and it's sort of really contaminated the lower drum. The heads look fine. It's a bit weird. So let's clean this off. I wouldn't recommend this method unless you are willing to take the risk of all sorts, really. Tape contamination and tape path contamination, and try not to hit those pegs, and I keep doing it, which is not great. Oh, that looks so much better. That's taken off all of that crud, and there's a really good, I mean, it looks shiny on camera, but it's actually really very good. There's a good air cushion there. So I didn't go around the back, so I don't have to worry about that. No need to go around the back either, so that's cool. And the bobble, and that was quite interesting, because I said about that when I had the first deck, there looked to be damage on the drum, and no, this bobble is actually to give an additional air gap at that point as it exits the head drum. Has no effect on anything other than doing that, if that makes sense. This sort of seems wrong to have sort of like what seems to be a random lump on the drum, but yeah, it was a bit of a, I think somebody described it in the comments as sort of the fashion to do it, and I have seen it on a few Panasonic decks since, actually. It's quite interesting to see it. So let's get these heads back on. I mean, the heads are quite grubby, but let's get it so the markings line up with the white. And I need to do this in such a way straight down. This is where I find out if I've bent any of the pins. Don't believe I have, but I may well have. Yeah, pins at the far side are coming through. Pins this side are not. I'm just wondering if that's what's... Oh gosh. Oh no. Just literally, because it's so tight on the hub, it literally just was not going down on the hub. Okay, so let's get the screws in and then solder it up. That's a good start. Keep spinning. What a surprise. And again, I will just do these up loosely each side and then torque them up. Don't know whether there's a torque rating. That's another thing. I'm sure I read somewhere there is actually an official torque rating for these. But I've sort of done, you know, backstreet mechanics method of 2 grunts. So let's get soldering. Okay, so I was doing that at a funny angle and managed to sort of bridge 2 of the contacts, but yeah, it's all done. Cleaned it up and resoldered it, moved the camera out of the way because it was just causing me issues. Well, at that speed it seems fine, but then I think it was pretty much fine before, but it seems all right. So yeah, I'll get the static drain on, and I suppose we can try and give it a test to see if it does actually mean that it will run properly now. So yeah, let's crack on. So let's give it a try. It's the next day. I can't actually see any clock, which is a bit concerning. Anyway, let's just try. Okay. I do wonder if I have got a power supply. Oh, I can see the clock. Oh no, that's interesting. We just turn the light off. So I think we've got a power supply fault, because that's just come up and I just saw it. So yeah, see, it's getting brighter. Interesting. Oh. And that head motor is still slow. Oh yeah, of course we've got a jammed capstan as well. You see how that is just a bit all over the place? It's coming brighter again. Let's press stop. Let's press eject. Oh. It's going dull again. Yeah, I'm pretty confident I have a power supply issue. And I'm quite tempted to just, I mean, it'd be nice to measure some voltages, to be fair, but I know what it's going to be. It's going to be bad caps in the power supply. So I'm just tempted to actually take the power supply out and it's all over the place. Actually, change the caps. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's have a look at getting this power supply out. I don't know whether I've ever taken one of these out before. I don't think I took it out on the oh, that was clever, on the other one I worked on, because it was okay, but this one is definitely not. It seems to have got quite warm as well. So screw on the back. I know you've got a terrible view of all of this that I'm doing, but yeah, we'll see as we go along. Yeah, I seem to remember what I need to do is take off the back plastic vent. I can't remember now if I took the power supply out, the last one, because I sort of remember doing this, but I can't think why I would. Oh, I see. So it's on clips. So there's clips here, and these actually clip on to the heatsink, and are quite determined to stay on. There we go. I'm going to clip the other one back on. Let's clip that. And then I think we can then take the heatsink off. So there's a screw in the middle. Heatsink comes off and then you lift the power supply out. So screw in the middle. And then this should, I think, oh, missed a screw. So what's that? Grounding connector there, mains connector, and then lift it out, and there we go, one power supply. So let's have a look at it. I'm going to take this off. So we've got some caps on the outside here, which I can't see any visible leakage, not to say that there isn't, but oh, this is tough. Well, it's got a bit hot and bothered, but it's not bad. Yeah, some of them have been done. Did I do those? Yes, all the output ones have been done. No, I've not done these. Yeah, they've all been done. So somebody came to the same conclusion I did, that there was a power supply issue, but that power supply issue is not to do with capacitors anyway. It's not a bad job though, and it's nice to know they have been done. It's something crossed off the list. I'm just hoping, because there's an SDK chip there, I'm just hoping that it isn't that, because that would be bad. I can see, oh yeah, we can quite make out there are a load of bad joints there. I just wonder if that's all it is. We can quite make that out. But yeah, I can see some rings of solder. So I'll do that, and I'll give it a bit of a clean out as well, because it's a bit grim. And we'll see what it's like. Let's crack on. Well, that's a lot better. So quite fluxy actually all around there, but yeah, a lot better. So I've also cleaned this pretty well, so I'm given a bit of a clean inside here as well, because it was pretty not nice. So yeah, get that back together, get it put back in, and just see if it makes any difference really. So yeah, super. Okay, so back together. I think I've plugged everything in. Soon find out. Yeah, so I could see the clock blinking. Well, that's looking more solid. I think it was just literally bad joints on the SDK. That should be up. That's a bit noisy, isn't it? Oh dear. I think that's actually the spool. Yeah, it's quite what it wants to be. Just eject that. That is so noisy. Well, it's not like that. What's going on there? Oh. Yeah, that's more like I'd expect. I mean, the deck actually seems so much better than the last one. It should be really smooth, which that is. Have I unplugged something? Don't think I have. But it does not want to eject anymore. Okay, well, yeah. I'm just spotting, actually, just looking in there, something's been sprayed on the mode switch, which is not encouraging. So someone's tried to bathe it with some cleaning fluid or something, or it's oversplashed from something. But someone's had a bit of a go at this, that's for sure, and I never like that. Yeah, this is now not wanting to eject for whatever reason. How bizarre. Yeah, no, that's not having it. Well, we fixed the clock. I didn't know that was an issue actually, but yeah, that's good. So I think the next thing I'm gonna have a quick look at is let's get the bottom cover off and just have a look at that capstan. Let's crack on. Right, so let's close this up and just pull this off. Oh, I've got to take screws out, haven't I? I think before that will come out. Yeah, I think it's all part of the same assembly. I can't remember. I've only done one of these before, so you can't. You can forgive me a little bit for forgetting. Yeah, looking very much like. That's all I need to do. Well, I did have to take those off actually. Yeah, I think I did. Oh gosh, a bit of plastic just went. I think. Oh, yeah. It's annoying. Just broke off. This has obviously been off before. And rammed back on. Quite what happened there, but I'm taking that off. I don't know, because I haven't got any problems with the front panel, so in theory I don't have to take that off. So I just wasted my time. Well, I say that, I probably will give it a clean, so okay, we'll leave that. So red screws. I'm sort of intrigued. Well, one thing that might be worth checking is the actual Capstan driver chip, because in Panasonic they do have a habit of getting dry jointed, especially the ones that hang upside down. So we are looking fairly good. So I thought I could get, yeah, I can just about, I don't think you can really see much in there. Behind here is the capstan, and you can get to it, but it's with a screwdriver. So let's just try. Well, interestingly, that was jammed, but I've just moved it. And now it seems free, I think. Yeah, that's moving now, but it was stuck. Interesting. So it might be worth me just putting a tiny bit of grease, a tiny bit of that very thin oil that I use for the heads, the head motor bearings. Yeah, that's moving now. On the capstan shaft as well. So yeah, interesting. So let's sort of check the capstan driver chip. So this one here has got a heatsink on the other side, and it is actually absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It wasn't only Sony, all this and the black pads. Hopefully they don't become conductive. Might be worth just sticking a meter on and just having a look. Okay, so I've got this on highest. So there is yeah. See, this is becoming conductive. Some are, some aren't. That's all right. That's all right. It only seems to be that one. Is it? They probably do need to go, don't they? I'm tempted just to replace it with some hot glue. I don't know. Well, I was definitely getting a reading. From that one pad. I'm not now. Okay, well, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, I think. I did get that one sort of stray reading. I'll have a think about it. Part of me would really like to change them. Oh, you see, there's that rot. The legs. Yeah, they need to go, don't they? So just going to cause problems. Okay, well, I think I'm not going to show me picking off bits of plastic. I know it's a bit of oh, you know what I mean. ASMR. But quite frankly, it's a complete pain. So yeah. So okay, well, I'm going to continue to clean these off and I will just use a bit of hot glue, I think. Some of these are going to be a bit fun. I have to really make sure that I don't break anything, or I'll probably take photos, to be fair, just in case I break a leg or a leg comes off while I am doing the cleanup. But yeah, let's crack on. Well, okay. So I have scraped off that much. It's just, some of it was just like really like went to dust. Other bits were like very gooey and just horrible. And yeah, so I've used hot glue, and it seems to have been relatively successful. Some of these were just over surface mount components as well here, which was the nightmare, to be honest. There's actually a surface mount transistor under there as well, but I've had to sort of put it there because of where it connects to the board. Transistor, it looks like, I thought I'd broken it, but it looks like the one leg is actually not connected to anything anyway. Even though it's curled, I'm a bit sort of worried that I might have pulled that off, and yeah, but I don't think I have, because there's no solder actually on the leg. It's just slightly curled, it's sort of curved around. But yeah, I think we're all pretty much good to go. It looks a little bit weird down here just because of the way I've had to do the glue, but they are isolated. But what a mess. And it's just like, I mean, it's just as bad as a HF 950, to be honest, if not worse in some ways. But what a mess. And just why did they do it that way? But you have to think on the other side, flip side of that, it's a very old machine now, so I suppose they've done quite well. But yeah, what a pain. So yeah, I suppose we ought to give it a try and just see where we're up to. I mean, hopefully that capstan might work now, but we'll see. Let's crack on. Okay, so let's give it a go. Okay. So we still have something weird going on with the heads. Fast forward seems to be much quieter. That's good. But yeah, that it doesn't sound too healthy. I don't know. It's going to be another one of those, isn't it? It's almost like I can hear. It's not merely a matter of tightening this. Oh, it's as tight as it will go. Oh, that's probably not going to be a good idea. I can hear the motor trying to run. Don't try this at home. That motor is definitely being driven because I can hear it. I can hear it creaking. Let's turn it off. You see, I just wonder what's going on here. Just wonder if I give that a poke. So that is free. And that's looking good there. Make sure that that is actually binding correctly. There we go. We'll cross the thread on that. Yeah, and that's pressing down. So that is correct. It is just, there we go. It's one of those things that somebody's had a good old go at trying to get this going. And it's like they've looked on the internet and tried a few sort of half-baked sort of things to try and get it going. And failed. What's slightly concerning me is I don't seem to be getting any sort of output, which I was getting before. So that's pause, and I am getting nothing at all. Oh, okay. So we're going to have to do those caps. Definitely. Going to have to do those caps. Probably in the can in here. So I suppose the next thing to do is, I don't know, maybe we'll look at these caps next. It'd be nice to know that that's all working. I have a horrible suspicion I'm going to be stripping down all of those gears underneath the Capstan motor, which I don't really enjoy doing. So yeah, I suppose we ought to crack on. Let's crack on. So I thought the next thing I'd do is actually look at the capacitors, as I sort of, yeah, other things, yeah. So, I've already unplugged the two connectors at the front here, and I should be able to lift this out. I've taken out all the red screws bar one. This one, the post is broken on this one as well. I seem to remember it was the same on the previous one I worked on. It seems to be a bit of a thing. And the two black screws out the back. Yeah, it just seemed to brake. The screw seems incredibly tight as well. I did try and free it off, but that wasn't happening. So I should be able to remove this. Some hot glue there. And it's going to be on that panel there, I think, that we're going to find all the problems. Got another black pad there, which I think ought to come off. But yeah, this should fold out. And then should be able to get this off. There we go. Yeah, so it'll be that panel, and the other side of there will be some capacitors that will need changing. What the rest are like. I can't see any signs of leakage from the first look anyway, from any of these others. Just seems to be this one. Oh, this can. It seems to give the trouble. So we need to desolder that and we'll take a look. Let's crack on. Okay, well that's out, and no telltale signs of any, I say there's no telltale signs. I can actually see in the bright light, I can see the legs, the pads have like, they're not shiny. So you can see where some of them anyway have leaked. So that one's leaked. The rest don't look too bad actually. That one's leaked. Just about to see some residue there. But yeah, anyway, I'll get and change these. That one's leaked. That one's leaked. So yeah, we'll get and do that, and we shall take it from there. So I've changed them all. It's a bit of a battle because it's a double-sided board, and some of the groundings, you have to get so much heat into it to sort of get the capacitor out. But of course, you don't want to damage the board either. But I've managed to do it. So the only slightly interesting one is the 1 microfarad one. As you see, it looks as if it's missing, but I've actually put it on the back. And it's a bipolar one as well, so it's physically quite large, but it will just about, I mean, it's going to push against the can a bit, but it will just about fit there. There's no way I could do it on the top, so yeah, that's okay. I mean, I suppose I could light across there and extend the lead. I'd already clipped the leads, which is a bit annoying. Otherwise I could have done something a bit more fancy, but that'll do. I managed to catch that bit of case as well. It's a bit annoying, but this is a fleeting glancing blow with the soldering iron. I just caught it and melted it a bit, but that's fine. So I'm going to get this back together now and put it back in, and we'll give it a test, see if that's all it is. Let's crack on. All back together. Put 1 or 2 screws in just to keep the panel down, so I can plug in things nicely at the back without too much movement. But I have a feeling I'm going to be taking that back out because I'm sure there's going to be more caps bad. It's well, 50-50. So yeah, let's just start a capture to see what's going to happen. Oh. Look what happened there. Oh, we had a cap go pop. Oh dear, I must have put one in the wrong way round or something like that. So yeah, let's take that apart and see what I've done. Oh dear. Let's crack on. Yeah, things didn't go well. The cam was actually okay. I have taken the cam back out, and it's totally fine. I was a bit concerned about this because this bipolar capacitor mounted on the back actually, in theory, if the legs punctured the plastic, would ground the 9-volt rail to ground the 9-volt rail. So yeah, I wondered if that might have happened, but no, it's absolutely fine. And checking around, could do with a bit of a clean. I didn't clean this, and I really should have. This is a slight problem when you sort of do work and then sort of put it back together thinking it's done, when actually I hadn't really finished it. I needed to clean this up. So I will do that. But what's happened, again, not checking my work, there was a solder spike between ground of the can and the Zener diode here. So there's 9.8 volts here. 12-volt rail comes in, 9-volt rail comes out. This is the regulator. It's 2SD601. And yeah, basically that's that 9.8 volts that's sort of regulating. It was shorted, so it is literally 12 volts straight to ground effectively. And yeah, transistor didn't like it, so I have found one off the old board, the old servo board. It's actually a couple. So I've liberated one. This is Q6 is that IC with, I think that's 5 volts. No, it's not. That's to ground. But yeah, it's I've got one. They are available on, well, actually on eBay. Nico do them, but they're £6 each plus £2.99 postage, and it's just like, really? So I was lucky I found that, so that's good. I can also check, this also has the modification, exactly the same modification as this machine here. So I can just double check that transistor, because that leg came off, and yeah, I need to just check that I've soldered that back in, because I don't think I have. I think I just glued it, forgot all about it. So yeah, I need to do that as well. Oh dear, I really should not do these things in bits and pieces like I seem to be doing at the moment. But anyway, I'll get this cleaned up, get the old smelly transistor off, and replace it. So I've mounted the bipolar on the top. It's my last one, and I need to get this back together. So for now, anyway, I've put it in. It looks like the leads are touching, they're not. It's just the angle that I'm. Oh, yeah, you can see there the gap. So I put a bit of wire through, and then connected it to the top one. Bent the lead and soldered it across. It's messy. I don't like it, but it will get the job done. And I can see what else I've damaged, if I've damaged anything. I've given it a bit of a clean up. Still quite fluxy, but I'm not going to hack away too much at this. So I used a bit of isopropyl and a toothbrush just to gently take off the worst of it, but that's going to have to do. Part of me was thinking maybe of lining the top of the can, because some of these might touch, but none of the cans are actually to ground anyway. But I might just do it just for the fun of it, really. So yeah, but let's get this back on, and which way around does it go? I think it goes that way. So that's and that's are not touching to ground. So yeah, so like I say, I'll just line the inside of this for what it's worth. I can't see it makes any difference, but yeah, I'll do it anyway, and then put it back together and we'll give it a try. Fingers crossed I don't leave a solder spike this time. Let's crack on. Totally pointless, but it makes me happy. All back in. I've checked around. Solder's not brilliant, but it's good. It's good enough. It's to ground. And I've checked each one, made sure there's no solder spikes at all. This is really, really close. So I'm not surprised, really, that the tiniest solder spike, and that's it, it's grounded that, and that's not very good. Transistor's in. So yeah, I'm going to put this back in. I was going to try it like this, but I need to check that transistor on the bottom board for the servo anyway, and this will be flopping about, which I don't want, so I'll put it in. It'd be more fun if it was like this, wouldn't it? But anyway, yeah, I'll put it back in and we'll give it a test. All back together, and I've done the transistor, properly seated, or soldered rather, that transistor, I unseated it, underneath that sort of came adrift when I was taking off the black pads. That transistor, 2SD601, is a silicon transistor, but it has a maximum dissipation of 100 milliwatts with a peak of 200 milliwatts. I did the maths on the resistance voltage, and that little can is drawing about 40 milliamps, so long as there isn't a solder spike, where it's drawing an awful lot of ampage. So yeah, it should be all fine. It was about 192 ohms, I think, from output of the transistor to ground. So yeah, with a 9-volt input, that's output rather, that's fine. So yeah, the thing is now is to give it a try and hope it doesn't pop. So yeah, here goes. Oh yes, it's laced. We seem to still have 12 volts, I think. Still got that weird problem with the heads being a bit slow to get up to speed. So press pause. So it's, my copy box is actually reckoning it's C-cam, which it obviously isn't. But we've got a picture, we've got a still, the colour is all over the place. But of course I've got no Capstan. So, yeah, I'm just slightly concerned about the tearing. Oh, it did actually move a little bit. Okay. This is a bit weird. Because there is some movement from that Capstan motor. Yes, that's fine now. I mean, obviously it's tearing, it's pulling, and we've got darklies everywhere. But at the moment, can't really say much about that until we get an actual Capstan movement. But it is trying to move. Bit dodgy doing this with the tape laced. Just push this down a bit. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, so you can see now, it's actually really good at the top. I've just got noise, which is, you know, in the darklies, just from the fact that I can't barely move the Capstan. I mean, it's moved a little bit, but I'm just trying to go back, see if I can get any sort of movement. Yeah, I'm not really hearing anything from it now. It's just, oh, it's a terrible thing to do. It's taking the pressure off a bit. Yeah, I just can't. Oh. Oh. Right, okay. So still quite a bit of saturation. So I've still got an issue. Yeah, so that is actually sort of working. So I've got noise there. Oh, okay. So it was just an adjustment on the top of the pen shoulder. So this is pretty much working. How cool is that? Let's just do a pause again. It's interesting that the pause is so much better luminance wise than the, oh well, that's actually yes, it's going darker. Still say I've got a capacitor issue. It's just weird how it sort of goes darker and then sort of gradually goes darker. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm a bit surprised. Obviously, we've still got problems with the front loading system. Let's just try and eject. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing. I think, see what wind is like, see if the noise is gone. But I need to grease these reels anyway, which we'll do when we take this off. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it here. It'd be nice to do a part 2. And this video is probably long enough, and I've got loads to do as well, so I need the space. This one, there's not a massive rush to get this one sorted, and I've got others that are a bit desperate. So yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. Let's try rewind, and in part 2 we'll have a look at the front loading system to find out what's going on with those heads. I'm sure they're not supposed to be that slow in starting. Yeah, the tracking's a bit out. So yeah, we'll look at that, although we do have a bit of a problem here with the arm. Not quite going up. That's just greasing, so that's good. But yeah, there's a definite sort of saturation going on, oversaturation, or it's low luminance, I think. So I'm going to have to just go through and check. It's more than likely going to be another cap, and maybe some heat and cold will easily find that. Other than that, I suppose I could try and get the scope in, but scope is more trouble than it's worth sometimes. So yeah, so with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Certainly a lot easier than the last NV-V8000 we did, and part 2 will be along shortly, and yeah, I really look forward to that. Looking forward to actually having this working nicely. So yeah, it'll be exciting. So with that, bye for now.